Hello, everyone. Today's article is titled Chopsticks, Chapters, and Cultural Curiosity. It tells the story of a new textbook series released by Tanzania's Confucius Institute. But this is more than just a language book. It blends vocabulary, culture, and curiosity. From panda trivia to holiday traditions, this series is all about learning language through cultural connection. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. Before we examine what happened, it helps to consider a larger theme that gives us context. This will guide how we understand the story that follows. This brings us to the idea that language and culture are deeply connected. You can't truly learn a language without understanding the cultural context that gives it meaning. Food, holidays, history, even humor all shape how language is used and understood. Textbooks that include culture don't just teach words, they build bridges. What do you think are the benefits of learning about a country's culture while learning its language? Learning a language without its culture is like reading a script with no emotion. You miss the tone, humor, and intent. That's why cultural context is key. When learners understand holidays, food traditions, or daily routines, they grasp not just what is said, but why it's said that way. In today's article, the Confucius Institute in Tanzania released Overview of China, a 2-volume textbook that blends grammar with real cultural insights. From chapters on panda trivia to historical festivals, the series helps students dive headfirst into Chinese society. Even better, local educators are working on Swahili translations and curriculum-based adaptations. This shows that cross-cultural education isn't about one side teaching the other, it's a dialogue. It reflects mutual respect and a global mindset, where learning Mandarin also means learning how others live, think, and celebrate. And in that way, language learning becomes not just academic, but transformative. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with dive headfirst into. It means to begin doing something with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, often without hesitation. In the article, Tanzanian students are encouraged to dive headfirst into Chinese culture, not just language. Here is an example. She dove headfirst into learning Japanese, watching dramas and cooking traditional meals every day. Next, we have abundance. It refers to a large quantity of something, more than enough. The article mentions an abundance of tea and cultural content at the textbook launch. Here is an example. The library had an abundance of materials for students preparing for the language exam. Finally, let's look at armed with. It means being equipped with something useful, like knowledge or tools. The article says students will be armed with facts, grammar, and cross-cultural understanding. Here is an example. Armed with curiosity and a phrase book, she traveled solo across Southeast Asia. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. Tanzania's Confucius Institute released Overview of China, a 2-volume textbook series designed to teach Chinese language learners more than just grammar and vocabulary. With chapters on food, holidays, and history, the books promote deeper cultural understanding. Plans for Swahili translations and local adaptations reflect a growing interest in cross-cultural education, showing how language and culture go hand in hand in global learning. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is released. It means officially launched or made available to the public. The second answer is promote. This means to encourage or support the development of something. The third answer is translations. It refers to versions of the book rendered into another language. The fourth answer is adaptations. This means changes made to fit a local context or audience. The fifth answer is go hand in hand. It means 2 things are closely connected and work well together. Great work today! We explored how textbooks like Overview of China blend culture and language learning and why that matters. These materials show that learning a language means more than memorizing. It means seeing the world through someone else's lens. Now here's your question to reflect on. Should schools invest more in cross-cultural education? What are the long-term benefits? We'll talk about this in our next session. Until then, stay curious and stay connected.